author D.L. Tillery here, the Mr. Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. Well, you can hold that like till the end if you would like. Alright, so, as you know, the channel has been undergoing changes. My schedule has not been on point. I've been uploading every 2 weeks instead of once a week, like I would like to, but that should be going back to what it was at the minimum because my schedule has been crazy. I have the beta run that's still going on right now for my debut novel Cagliostro, and that's going well. It's almost done. Thank goodness for that. And I was doing basic self edits before, like, while it was going on, so I'm down to like the last 2 chapters, which my chapters start trickling down lower, so that shouldn't take me much longer. Should be done this weekend with that. And the people who are making it to the end are getting closer to the end, so that should wrap up nicely. So this episode of updates and author talk, we're gonna cover a beta run and my also new little paperback that released. So let's jump right into the first part. Beta runs, they're interesting. To say that, it's a different type of process. It's a part of the process. Like, it's something you should go through as a published author, self-published author. And I did the alpha run, and now I'm in the beta run, and they both are going well. But there's always going to be the people that don't understand what a draft is. I literally did the whole process, like, people who said they wanted to be betas, and then I put out a form for people who want to sign up to be betas, and then I compiled that, and then the people that I picked from based off the form that they filled out, I picked them, and I ended up with about 18 people to start, and I sent a basic email to them, giving them the rules, so to speak, rules, and, like, I wouldn't say rules. I would say what I'm looking for, also the rules. Okay, there are rules as far as, like, answering the questions on the form. I make sure that they can't not answer them, but answering the questions on the form as asked. Letting them know that this is a draft, meaning that I am aware of any error. I'm aware of errors and grammar issues, and also possible other issues. That's also why this is a beta run. And it's a draft. A draft does not depict what the author or writer can do as a whole, also their intellect. I mean, I really shouldn't have to state this, but people who go and pick up a book off of a shelf or purchase an ebook, they don't understand all the steps that it took to get that there. So, you are clear about this, but people reading, which is funny, like, imagine beta readers not reading and then missing information. But anyway, that being said, most of the people who are reading have listened and read. Thank God for that. But there literally have been some people that's like, I can't. Also, I had a rule that, like, I need you to finish by a certain time. Like, my beta run started September 4th and ran through September 30th. Originally it was the 25th, but I changed it to the 30th. So they gave plenty of ample time to read this size book. It is not a large book by any stretch of the word. It is a series. This is the first book in the series. So you're looking at like 300 pages, possibly. It may run over 300 a little bit, like maybe 305, or it could end up with less, because once you do the edit and cut out things that are unnecessary or things you don't think necessary, or you add in things, the word count can change, which means the page count can change, in formatting and all that. Okay. But, I had the thing where, like, you start on the 4th, and then I had a turnaround of 3 days per chapter, if that's where you ended up. And then if you didn't finish the first chapter through the 3rd chapter by the 11th or 12th, then, or started reading, then I cut you, because that means you probably didn't have the time. And if you don't have the time, then I can't use you in this settings, which is fine. I wasn't upset about that, because I expected it. As a writer, you should expect that. So I think I only lost like 2 or 3 people who didn't start till after I sent the first chapter. That's cool. So that took me from like 18 down to 15. Okay, that's fine. Still not bad. Then, then people that, there's going to be people that decide they're not going to read because at the bottom of the form, I asked if you want to continue on. Because everyone likes what they like. They may not want to continue. They may also, their schedule got busy and they're not going to finish. Also, they could just not like the characters, or they could not like the story, or they may not like where they think it's going, type of situation, or it's not their cup of tea. This is a dark fantasy, so if you're not used to dark fantasy, then you also may not want to read it either. So, but it's going well. I did lose, I think, 2 people who wanted to bow out, but they got, like, one person got to, like, chapter 5, and then another person got to chapter 9. And both of those people bowing out were more like, one, I assume she probably was more, like, busy, and she probably just couldn't, she knew she wasn't going to make it to the end of the run anyway. And the other one, well, let's just say I don't think she liked it from the start, which is fine. She doesn't have to like it. But this isn't about you liking it. This is also about, like, I was looking specifically for plot holes. If you're interested in this, well, technically liking it somewhat, those type of situations. But, like, reading, I didn't read a lot of the messages from this particular person, because I wasn't reading any messages from anybody, particularly after the first chapter, because I want to wait until the end, because what Google Form does, which I was using, it collects all the data, and then I can look at it in a spreadsheet type setting, and then the questions that I asked, those are the answers that will show up from each person. So if you don't answer the questions correctly, as far as, like, let's say you say something like "see above" type of situation, then that means nothing. That's not answering the question. So I did have to correct that person on that. But I didn't put much. I put like one section for grammar in there because I'm going to have a editing team take care of any issues that anybody could take care of. That's why they exist. Okay. So I wasn't worrying about that. That's irrelevant, because guess what? You could become an editor. You can be an editor. You can pay an editor. You can have your book edited, but can you write a story? That's what matters. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, as a writer, not everybody can be a writer. Not everybody can tell a story. Let's just be honest. So that's what I need to know. Like, is this a good story to you? Is it interesting? Even if you don't like every outcome, even if you don't like every character, even if you don't like, is it enough to grab your interest? And I was getting that from everybody, even the people that dropped out. Like, everyone's interested, which is great. But, like, one particular person, they don't really need to be named. They know who they are. Like, making snide comments is unnecessary. I don't like people who do that type of thing. I just don't. Like, it's not needed. So when I do a video specifically about beta run and, like, some of the stuff that people said and stuff like that, I'll go over that, which is kind of funny. But I just don't like snide comments. Like, if you don't like the book, it's fine. If you don't like my writing style, that's also fine. But you don't need to say smart ass remarks, because then I'm just going to think you're a type of person that goes out their way to be an a-hole. I'm just saying, you don't need to do that. Anybody that was doing that, I'm not going to take anything you say serious. I'm not, because you're being unkind for no reason. And don't pretend that you don't know if your words are unkind, because that's not criticism. You're going the extra step that you didn't need to take. If I say you spelled the word wrong, let's say as an example, I said you spelled a lot of wrong words, like a lot of words were spelled incorrectly. So I'm just, I would put that in the section where it goes, and I would say you had a lot of words spelled incorrectly in this chapter. That's it. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say you had a lot of words spelled incorrectly in this chapter, and I mean, good luck to the editors that got to deal with this. Or Good luck to the people that has to try to fix this problem. I wouldn't do that because I'm a nice person. Probably, I've been told. Because really, you don't get to pick if you're a nice person. It's the people around you that can dictate that because they can tell. Like, it's how you treat people. I'm just saying. I digress on that. But I think people need to really look themselves in the mirror and understand when you're taking, your steps have gone too far. It's unnecessary. And then that's what people are going to think of you. Anyway, the beta run where we're at currently. It's going pretty good. We're almost to the end. Most of the people's information has been useful. Things that I could go back and look at. It's not that you're going to agree with everything that people say in beta runs, which is fine. But if a lot of people say the same thing, that's what you're looking for. So at the end of the day, it's your choice at the end, you know. All right, so moving on to The Room Within. So The Room Within has released. It released till September 14th. It is an ebook and paperback form. The paperback is a little small because this is a short story after all. But I did add an excerpt from Cagliostro, Tale of Life Virgin, which is the prologue and the part of the first chapter. Also, I have one of my romance horror poems in the back, and I have an excerpt from author Aphrodite Lee's Ensnared. So you should grab this up if you want the paperback. The ebook does not have those extras in it. The ebook is only 13 pages because it's a short story again. So if you want to grab the ebook, that's $2.99 over there, and then the paperback is like $4.85 over on Amazon. So check that out. If you want a signature copy from me, then I'll have those in around October 1st. And if anyone wants one, you can hit me up. Let me know in the comments if you would like one. And then you can just pay me directly, and then I'll mail it to you. So also, I'm offering book plates to people who buy it directly from Amazon, which please do feel free to. I will send you a book plate, which is the thing authors do for people who book their books and they did not have the autograph or weren't at a book signing or something like that. So yes, I'm doing that as well. Book plates aren't going to start going out anyway until around November or so for people who do buy this and would like an autograph copy of it. Or you can buy a direct autograph copy from me. I'll keep them in stock. And yeah, Room Within, I think it's cool to have your physical book in your hand. I like physical books, so that's why I decided to go ahead and make a paperback. I would like to thank Aphrodite Lee for helping me get it together because the cover was made by Vibrant Designs, but Aphrodite Lee did the back cover because I had just purchased the ebook way back when and I had to make it a back cover. So Aphrodite Lee did the back cover for me and the spine, and she did the formatting on the inside for her company, Elysium Formatting. The formatting is really, I'm trying to show you, really, really nice. Oh, it's a picture of Cagliostro inside too. That's from an artist that did the character art. So Aphrodite, the formatting is very pretty. She's so good at the formatting thing. It's ridiculous. And then that's the back about the author page. So the formatting is pretty. I really like it. I think it's a cute book. So it's not my debut novel. I wanted to release The Room Within solo. Also as a learning experience for myself, so I know how the KDP works. And Cagliostro comes out, I am ready and I know all the inside things of that. Another thing that has occurred is that Amazon has decided to do a hardback now, which is perfect. It's just in time for Cagliostro. Because, of course, when Cagliostro releases, I plan to do every version the week that it releases because, maybe some delays. But I plan to do the ebook, a paperback, a hardback, and an audiobook because I have all the prints. Like, the cover has been done. My cover release party is going to be on December 5th, which is my birthday. So I'm going to do a live reveal of the cover for Cagliostro because Cagliostro is planned right now to come out March 22. That is the plan. As long as the marketing and everything goes well, then it will still release in March. I haven't given the exact date yet because I want to save that for when I do the cover reveal. I'm talking to my book cover artist who also does the character art who's going to do the character art going forward. Talking to him now, I have to get all the descriptions together for Cagliostro and give them to him so he can start doing the characters that's in the book. He has already done the cover, which has Cagliostro and Allison. He's done them already. So I have to get the other characters within the book prepared to be made. His art is amazing. You're going to be like, oh, awed like I was when you see the cover on December 5th. So get excited for that. Another thing I wanted to cover as well is if you would like to support me as an indie author, please do get a copy of The Room Within, and reviews are so important. Like, I can't stress that enough. If you buy a copy of The Room Within, or if you read a free version of The Room Within, or you read it when it was in local haunts, because it was also in local haunts when before I released it solo, then please leave me a review over on Amazon, because you can just type in The Room Within or follow the link below and leave me a review, an honest review of what you thought of the short horror story. Reviews do help authors. It brings people to us, especially on Amazon. So the more reviews we have, the better. So if you purchase a copy of The Room Within, whether ebook or paperback, please, once you read it, please, please, please leave me a review. Rather, if you don't have time, don't feel like typing any words, even a star review would be good and better than nothing. But a few words would be really, really awesome. And I'm starting a newsletter, a monthly newsletter on my website, which will also be linked below. And you just scroll down to the bottom of my website. It's really basic and easy and fast. And you just put your name, first and last name in, and your email. And then when you'll get a reply email from my website confirming that you want to receive emails from me. Once you say you do, then you'll be signed up on my mailing list. I'm trying to gather people before I start, but I do plan to send out the first newsletter on October 31st. Haha, Halloween. Because I'm the Mistress of Horror, of course. So you'll be getting that. It has a few little cool things on the newsletter for you. Also some inside stuff that other people won't get. If you also want to support me as an author, I have a Patreon, which I will link below. I do try to keep those things below. And over there, I usually give, like, you get poems from me, dark poetry from me before they're ever released, because a lot of my poetry has not been released to the public. Then you get updates about Cagliostro that other people haven't seen. You'll get to see the character art before others do. I'm going to do the cover reveal over there on Patreon for patrons before December 5th, for the people who are patrons. And you can join as a patron for like $1, as low as $1, I believe. So that way you can get some inside stuff. I think the $5 tier, you get more inside stuff. So it has different tiers or whatever, just like everybody else. So if you want to check that out, please do. I'm not opposed to it. If you're a fan of my work, if you've read some of my stuff, or you might want to wait until you read some of my stuff to see if you like it or not. Alrighty, I just wanted to share that with you, share my feelings and somewhat process of the beta run that I'm currently in. It's my first one. I take criticism very well. That is not a problem. But when you're going to try to be unnecessarily mean, for lack of saying curse words on here, then I don't really have time for you. I don't like negativity, because I'm not going to learn anything from that. I don't care for it. Because if you're going to go out your way to be mean for no reason, and that is definitely no reason, because don't talk to me as if I'm not intellectual. Don't talk to me as if I'm not intelligent, because you're going to get on my bad side real quick. A draft is a draft for a reason. It does not depict the author or writer's intellect nor their capabilities. Just so we're clear. Some writers write cleaner than others. That does not mean they don't understand grammar. That does not mean they don't understand how everything comes together, how the language that they're writing in works. That doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean they don't understand it. Doesn't mean they don't know the info. They don't have the knowledge. Do not be mistaken for a second. That means nothing. The draft doesn't mean anything as far as what their capabilities are of the basic things like knowing grammar and things like that. But can they write a story? That's the one of the most important things. You can know all that stuff. You can know all that stuff. That does not mean you can tell a story. I'm just letting you know. Because that can be fixed. A story can be fixed. Editing, all that's why editors exist. That's why storytellers exist. And they're not the same. There are storytellers that are editors, and there are editors that are storytellers. but they're not the same thing. And they're two different skills. So, anyway, The Room Within is here. Check it out if you haven't read it. Please leave me a review over on Amazon. You can also leave me a review on Goodreads, but I prefer Amazon at the end of the day because that's where the book is being sold. Goodreads is also fine if you want to put it there as well, but it does not transfer over to Amazon. Just a heads up with that. So, oh, and one other announcement I wanted to do for the channel. I was on a critique group by Barrett Laure, Bex, and Stephanie over on Barrett Laure's channel. And it's an awesome critique group. You get really good information and feedback there, and they're not poisonous where they attacking people, which is great. I wanted to do a somewhat spin-off, but I did mention to Barrett that I might do one for horror and tragedy type of tales, because a lot of people may get a little emotional or such and such about things. So the show, I'm not going to do trigger warnings, but the trigger warning itself is the actual existence of the thing. So I'm going to do it once a month is the plan. I'm not going to start before the around Halloween. I may not start until November, but you'll get a heads up because there will be a thumbnail, and they'll be on my channel saying a live, because it's going to be live, and I'll have one author come on and read something from their work in progress, and then I will critique what they asked for, and then the people in the chat can talk about it and ask questions and blah blah blah, and that will help the author and writer get their stuff out there, and also get some constructive feedback that they asked for. But it's a place for horror, gore, tragedy, so it's going to be stuff that have cursing in it. It's going to be stuff that has subject matter that you may not be comfortable with. So if you don't feel comfortable, then don't watch. That's all I can tell you. There could be subjects such as really human issues, such as rape and things like that. So murder, things like that. And then horror, gore, monsters, creatures, darkness, things. So anything dark and or tragic or horror. It's going to be a writer's corner group critique for that. So it's just going to be me pretty much hosting it, unless another author wants to come on with me, but they have to follow these rules. And probably only other guests would be other authors that I know that I speak with. So, and then the one author is the person that will be on and be focused on. That's what we're going to do. So I just want to let you know that's going to be coming up from me, and you'll hear more about that soon. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay scared.